Hi all! So today I want to talk about adaptations, specifically comic book adaptations regarding the Odyssey. This is part of a body of research and work that I'm doing for Dr. Busel's World Literature class at Texas Women's University. At some point, everyone has to read the Odyssey. I mean, at least probably, hopefully, you have. It's one of two bodies of works that were supposedly written by Homer. Both are epics and written, at least the Odyssey is written hexameter, which is like 6 stressed syllables on one line. So basically, I'm going to go over 3 different comic book adaptations, starting with the Marvel's most recent publication of the Odyssey, published in 2009, written by Roy Thomas and Greg Toscini. Roy Thomas was at one point editor-in-chief of Marvel, so he's pretty awesome and you should check him out. This is the cover. The art is gorgeous. Whoever Greg is, he did a great job. As you can see, there's the Trojan horse in the background and kind of in the midst of battle when they siege Troy. So this kind of starts around book 1 when there would have been kind of like a retelling or a summary of what happened in the Iliad. There is an introduction by Roy Thomas, and he kind of discusses the authorship of who Homer was and whether or not it really matters. He kind of suggests that really the importance is the fact that the story is timeless and that it's still interesting to people today, and that storytelling is in fact an art. The adaptation, I feel like, is really successful. It's glorious and you absolutely have to read it. It was like watching a movie. I sat down for 2 hours straight at least, just to finish it out. There are different characters in here, like Poseidon shows up at the very beginning, if you can see, and he looks so much like Triton from The Little Mermaid. It's ridiculous. And then we have Athena, Pallas Athena specifically, she's kind of based off of a bust that was made of her in early Greek times. As you can see, her helmet's a little off-kilter, which is apparently a thing. It's kind of humorous. I don't know what you guys think. Also, the subject of redheads in ancient Greece. I had to look this up because I noticed that a lot of the bad guys were kind of redheads, like Antinous here. He has glorious red hair, but he's evil and it's sad. So I had to look it up, and apparently most redheads in Greece were in fact slaves because they got their slaves from the north. So north of Greece, that's where the redheads were apparently. The artwork has really beautiful colors. It's very true to life, I feel. It's probably the most in-depth and probably has the most fidelity to the Odyssey itself. It doesn't gloss over the beginning or the story of Telemachus or Athena. Some of the other adaptations I've read have kind of glossed over the fact that they existed and were there and just focus on the story of the Odyssey, beginning with the Cyclops. However, there is a lot of what I believe to be the subjectation of female bodies. Big boobs, lots of side boob features and leg action. Athena, of course, has her little tapered outfit. Okay, so yeah, Calypso. She is definitely one of the cooler characters in here. She kept Odysseus on her island for years. And in here she gets upset when Hermes tells her that she has to let Odysseus go. She's obviously gotten very attached to the hero, apparently. And always, like, in another adaptation, she's also wearing another dress when he leaves. Like, maybe she's trying to get him to stay with a nice dress? I don't know. And then Kirky, she is depicted as this red-haired witch who turns his men into swine. Another great thing about this graphic novel is the fact that Penelope is shown without the graphic novel or this comic book, and she's kind of depicted as a strong woman, someone who's working hard to be faithful and be strong when the times aren't really in her favor. As I just dropped it, that's so great. Okay, so yeah, Penelope. At the end, she does embrace Odysseus like she typically is depicted doing. But even then, she's still a strong female character. And of course, the bloodshed is really fun. That's towards the end. See, she's kind of glorious and wonderful and bright, and beautiful. Even though Odysseus says that she is not equal to Calypso, he still loves her. So I definitely recommend reading this graphic novel. It is what I consider to be a successful adaptation, where Thomas really considers the history of the Odyssey and Homer, and I think he has a good understanding of what an adaptation is and being okay with the fact that it doesn't have to follow it specifically, but while maintaining the true like plot and just a central storyline of what makes this a good and timeless story. So until next time, thank you.